All right, my friends, welcome to ACIM Talks. And I'm glad to have everybody here. I think we have some valuable things to talk about. One nice thing about these groups, in my estimation, is that when we get together, we don't talk about run-of-the-mill stuff and everyday stuff. We go for the deep philosophical discussions
Mm.
and try and, in our humble way, bring them to earth and make them usable in our daily lives. Let me let Catherine in. And Catherine, are you there?
Yes,
Hey,
I couldn't.
welcome.
I had to call Laverne to get your number.
Okay, well, I'm glad you were able to get in. If you have continue up, hold on, here's Laverne. All right. So everybody got in. I'll try and follow up with you if you were having access problems, Catherine. Hi, Laverne,
I
welcome.
Hey,
Hey,
hi.
we were
Hey,
just
Nancy,
getting
I haven't
started.
seen you in a million years. Hey.
Oh, nice to see you. And Catherine, too.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
too.
So wait, we just lost somebody, didn't we? No, I'm not. Okay, maybe I'm losing it. Um,
I don't see Kathleen.
there you go. I'm not losing it. Yay. But the other side of that is I hope Kathleen's able to rejoin us pretty soon. What I wanted to do, where we were, ladies, the two of you that just came, I was just saying welcome to everybody, but talking about, we're kind of an extraordinary group with our humbleness, I guess, because we don't just come and shoot the breeze, do we? Just talk about the weather and complain and all of the normal day-to-day stuff. We're like grassroots people who tackle some of the deepest philosophical questions. And we look at those subjects that most people, it's not really on their radar, is it? So I just wanted to have you offer yourself some appreciation for what you're endeavoring to do. And we are in some deep material with the Course in Miracles, ACIM Talks, but we're also exploring other philosophies, other spiritual writings, other spiritual masters to see if what they're saying coincides with what A Course in Miracles says. And more, we're discovering that at their core, a lot of the messages are the same messages.
Yes.
And so the confidence builds when you think you're on to something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what if you could tap into the secret to life and living? And the way you did it was just meeting with a bunch of people and just kind of being open and seeing, do all of these things make sense? If for no other reason than they all say the same thing. You with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know about you, but I'm extremely grateful. And I hope that you are too, my friends. Uh, any comments or anything you guys want to share before we go on?
I looked up Emmett Fox.
Yes.
Okay, let me just click here. Emmett Fox belonged to the First Church of Divine Science in New York City. He was also known, which was also known as the Church of Healing Christ. He was ordained in the Divine Science branch of the New Thought movement and served as the pastor starting in 1931. He was an influential Irish spiritual leader and a pioneer in the 20th century New Thought. His teachings focused on the power of the mind and practical mysticism, heavily influenced both modern spirituality and fundamental philosophy of Alcoholics Anonymous. He believed in thoughts shape reality, God as a pure love and principle, metaphysical interpretation of the Bible. One of his most famous books was Sermon on the Mount. He believed in the power of scientific prayer and living in the present, forgiveness and resentment. Today, Fox's teachings remain highly regarded in many spiritual circles, and his writings continue to be widely utilized.
Thank you. So maybe not unity per se, but within the New Thought movement. And Ron, you were telling us before we started the recording about the golden key,
Yes,
and you were recommending that, and
Yes.
also suggesting,
And I got the little booklet.
pardon me?
No, I was just saying that I have that little booklet, the Golden Key,
Yeah,
when it first came out, it was
yeah,
in a little
yeah,
tiny little white
six,
booklet.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I
Mhm.
don't
six
mean to,
pages.
Yeah.
I don't mean to wander too much, but why isn't this? Do you see how this is in fact occult knowledge? Because the mainstream of people don't read this, do
No,
they?
no,
Mhm.
So do you see why it's hidden or occult? It's almost like it's around, but people are distracted or have everything else to do but to explore these treasures.
Um, I wanted to say off topic that I hope you guys can excuse me. I have another class before this one, so I'm always going to be a little late. So I
Oh, yeah.
respect your time. I want you to know I respect your time, but I'm going to be a little late. So
All
I'm
right.
asking for some grace.
Thank you for your gracious comments and warning us. We can probably live with it. What do y'all think?
I think so.
Yes, I vote
Catherine?
yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And
Catherine, you
Jim,
got a comment?
yes, I have to leave early today. And I wanted to share with you that the Kybalion was written in 1912.
Okay.
And and two of the initiates that's written in the book, one is Paul Foster Case, who was an astrologist, and the other one was William Walker Atkinson. And William Walker Atkinson had a nervous breakdown and then other medical problems before he
Mm,
died. But
mm.
for the last 30 years of his life, he wrote 100 books.
Wow.
Prolific.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks for
Well,
doing a little research for us. This Kybalion is powerful. but mysterious in every way, when it comes to its origins and that. What I like to do, we made it to page 8 in the Kybalion. So, page 8 at the very first paragraph. Now, page 8, the chapter really starts on page 7. And what this chapter is, hi, Sherilyn, you made it. Yay.
Yes, I did.
All right. What this chapter is about, to my understanding, it says the Hermetic Philosophy. And so I guess it's telling us about Hermetic philosophy, how it came about, kind of what it is, how it came about, and stuff like that. And so far, it's just doing that. It started on page 7 and just is continuing on page 8. So I thought that's enough introduction. Why don't we just kind of get our readers and pick up from there? Let me ask you this. Who does not want to read?
Um,
I
Catherine
don't
does.
want to read.
Who does?
I cannot. I can follow along, but I can't read it
Oh,
because it
all
doesn't.
right. And who else had their hand up? Nancy
yeah, it's
Catherine,
and
Kathleen.
Catherine and Kathleen? No?
Yeah, I don't have my books. I'm not home, so
Okay. All right. I have Nancy, Catherine, Sherilyn. Was there one more? Or Kathleen, right?
yep.
Joan, I don't want to read.
All right. Boy, our whole group fell out on readers. All right. Ron is number 1. Hilda is reading.
No,
Oh
no,
my
I'm sorry.
goodness. Ron is 1. Laverne is 2. I'm 3. Wow. Okay, well, that's good. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We're at Ron.
Yes, well, I'm not sure which paragraph we're on.
Sure. It's
Well,
at the very top of page 8. But among these great masters of ancient Egypt, do y'all see it?
Mhm.
Give me a minute. I have it online and the pages are not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is in the middle.
Um,
Really? Okay.
the Hermetic Philosophy, is it in that chapter?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's page 7 for me. The
All right.
Hermetic Philosophy.
Yeah, that's page
Okay.
7. And there are
Okay.
2 paragraphs on page 7.
Okay.
And
But
then,
okay, I got it. But among these great
yes.
masters of
Now hold up, Laverne. Does everyone else have it?
I don't have it.
What's
okay.
the problem for you, Ron?
Are we on the Hermetic philosophy? Is that where we're at?
Yes, it starts on page 7.
In my book, it starts on page 13.
All right. And so go down 2 paragraphs, and then we're on the 3rd paragraph. Starts, but among these.
Yes, I'm there now.
Yay! Everybody there?
Yep.
Well, Ron is ready.
So apparently I don't have the right book.
Well, it may be a variation, but see if it reads okay.
Yes. Okay. But among these great masters of ancient Egypt, there once dwelt one of whom masters hailed the Master of Masters. This man, if man indeed he was, dwelt in Egypt in the earliest days. He was known as Hermes Trismegistus.
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 That's what I said.
That's right, right. Go ahead.
He was the father of the occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, the discoverer of alchemy. The details of his life story are lost to history, owing to the lapse of the years through several of the ancient countries disputed with each other in their claims to the honor of having furnished his birthplace and this thousands of years ago. The date of the sojourn in Egypt, in that his last incarnation on this planet, is not now known, but it has been fixed at the early days of the oldest dynasties of Egypt, long before the days of Moses. The best authorities regard him as a contemporary of Abraham, and some of the Jewish traditions go so far as to claim that Abraham acquired a portion of his mystic knowledge from Hermes himself.
Let's just stop a minute, Ron, if
Yes.
you don't mind.
Sure.
Comments, questions, you following this okay?
Mhm.
Sure.
All right. Ron, did you want to read more? Or
I think I'll pass.
okay, then we're all the way up to Laverne.
As the years rolled by after his passing from this plane of life, tradition recording that he lived 300 years in the flesh. The Egyptians defied Hermes and
Deified.
made him
Deified.
okay, and
Made,
made
yeah.
him one of their gods under the name of Thoth. Years after, the people of ancient Greece also made him one of their many gods, calling him Hermes, the god of wisdom. The Egyptians revered his memory for many centuries, yes, tens of centuries, calling him the scribe of the gods and bestowing upon him distinctively his ancient, and I'm going to turn the page, ancient title, Trigger Megistus,
Trismegistus. Trismegistus.
Trismegistus,
There you go.
Just the vistas.
Trismegistus,
Yeah.
which means the thrice great, the great great, the greatest great, etc. In all the ancient lands, the name of Hermes Trismegistus was revered, the name being synonymous with the font of wisdom.
Okay, you want to do some more or move
I'll
on?
read one more.
Okay.
Even to this day, we use the term hermetic in the sense of secret, sealed so that nothing can escape, etc. And this by reason of the fact that the followers of Hermes always observed the principle of secrecy in their teaching. They did not believe in casting pearls before swine, but rather held to the teachings milk for babies, meat for the strong men, both of which maxims are familiar to readers of the Christian scriptures, but both of which have been used by the Egyptians for centuries before the Christian era.
Comments, my friends. We doing okay?
Casting of pearls. So, you want to talk about that again?
Yeah, what do you think it means?
I really don't know.
Don't waste your breath.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anybody know it from the Bible?
Heard of it.
It's the
I mean,
words
yeah,
Jesus said.
Casting pearls before the swine.
don't give good things
Do not.
before, yeah, whatever.
Okay,
Okay.
it's like they can't use it. They're not ready yet. Don't waste your time, as Hildegard was saying. So, is that helpful? First, what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yes.
hear it all the time.
So if that analogy is helpful, what does that mean in this context with reference to the Hermetic principles? Why
It's
didn't these people, why was it observing the principle of secrecy?
and I think I asked that question the first day, and why were they why? And I think
Yes, and we
and
answered it, right?
yeah, it said fear,
Okay.
fearful.
So it's the same thing. It won't do any good, and there'll be insane repercussions up to crucifixion. You did ask this question a week or so
Right.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
You okay with it tonight?
Yeah, I'm okay.
How about the rest of you casting pearls to swine? Let's finish it up. What does it mean about milk for babes, meat for strong men?
Well, you know, um,
They said it as though it was in the same context or meaning. What does it mean, milk for babes? What does that mean to you?
It encourages the growth of whatever idea you have. And I think that to distinguish the opposite of this one saying, don't waste your time with people who don't comprehend it, don't understand it, and may
right,
misinterpret it and cause problems.
right,
And in terms, the babies need milk to grow, and strong
mhm,
men need to stay strong, need to have protein in order to stay strong. So that
right,
means it supports the
right.
people who like or who think about philosophical stuff, let's say, whatever.
So only give what you can digest. Babies can
Right,
digest milk and
Yes.
right.
strong. Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, yeah, let me, I'm not sure I completely agree with Hilda in terms of its traditional meaning. I think Laverne helps put us on the same page. Let me ask you this. What happens if you give steak to babies?
They can't
They
digest it.
they can't digest it. Right.
So when Jesus spoke in parables, do you see he had to give milk to babies because
Yes.
they weren't ready to understand directly? So I had to put it in a different, more palatable form. It was kind of dummied down, milked down for babes. And then when they grow and they're strong and more developed and have greater wisdom, they can absorb the greater wisdom. You can't you
Right.
can't have greater wisdom if it's beyond your capacity to receive it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? It's like
Perfect.
the ground has to be made ready, like the parable of the sower. Some fell on ground that wasn't ready yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up in AI and what AI says.
Yes.
The text notes that ancient followers of Hermes observed strict secrecy under the maximums of milk for babes and meat for strong men. Here is how the text is applied this concept. Tailored teachings, the quote reflects the idea that deeper, complex occult philosophies should only be shared with the few elect who are ready to understand them. Avoiding misinterpretation, the author suggests that offering meat deep wisdom to the unprepared is like casting pearls before swine, as they would be misunderstood or misuse the knowledge. The historical origin of the concept of milk for babes dates back to the Egyptian esoteric tradition and is famously quoted in the Christian scriptures.
Wow.
Merci beaucoup. I tell you, we got a fact checker and everything. This is a good place to come, right?
Right.
Thank you so much for that. Any questions? How everybody okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
far, so good.
I'm the next reader, I think. We're on, uh-oh. Didn't we finish the first full paragraph on page 9 where it said, even to this day, we use the term hermetic? We finished that, right?
Correct.
Right.
All right, it's on me. And this policy of careful dissemination of the truth has always characterized the Hermetics, even unto the present day. The Hermetic teachings are to be found in all lands, among all religions, but never identify with any particular country, nor with any particular religious sect. This is because of the warning of the ancient teachers against allowing the secret doctrine to become crystallized into a creed. The wisdom of this caution is apparent to all students of history. The ancient occultism of India and Persia degenerated and was largely lost owing to the fact that the teachers became priests and so mixed theology with the philosophy. The result being that occultism of India and Persia has been gradually lost amidst the mass of religious superstition, cults, creeds, and gods. And so it was with ancient Greece and Rome. So it was with the Hermetic teachings of the Gnostics and early Christians, which were lost at the time of Constantine, whose iron hand smothered philosophy with the blanket of theology, losing to the Christian church that which was its very essence and spirit, and causing it to grope throughout several centuries before it found the way back to its ancient faith. The indications apparent to all careful observers in this 20th century being that the church is now struggling to get back to its ancient mystic teachings. That was a long paragraph.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good writer. He's easy to follow so far, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any comments or questions or issues? Everybody okay? All right.
I just,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at what it's saying was, the Hermetic teachings were lost at the time of Constantine, whose iron hand smothered philosophy with a blanket of theology, losing to the Christian church that which was his very essence and spirit. I'm like, how could you not know that this is the essence and spirit of the Christian church, these teachings? I don't know.
They, they were afraid. It's like, for example, reincarnation. Constantine
Pick
had
it up.
the Pope murdered because he didn't want the people to consider themselves perfect or to go within. He didn't want the people to go within and realize themselves. So he said, no, you can't believe in reincarnation. So he murdered them.
You know, you have to be careful talking about why would kings murder people for this truth, knowing this? Why would they oppress it?
They
Why?
didn't want you to become aware
Yeah, and why don't they want you to become aware?
because you become powerful. You don't need them.
They lose their job.
Right,
If you knew church was within you every moment, yes, you would gather with people, but it wouldn't be like a demand, a requirement to get to heaven.
right,
That's common sense, isn't it?
right. That's like Pope, what was his name? Pope Clemens killed the Templar of the
Mm.
Masonic Order. And he did that because he borrowed money from the Masons and couldn't pay them back. So he killed them.
There's all kind of stuff going on through history, right?
Right.
All sort of intrigue. But do you see the impact that it's had on the masses in terms of distracting us from the truth and distracting us from an innate longing to find the truth? Who's got time to find the truth when you got to find a job? When your kids got to eat? When you're worried about a war? Who follows the philosophical pursuits then? Who's got time to know themselves in the rat race?
Very
Sounds
few.
like in spiritual terms, we or psychological terms, we call it the ego. The distractions of the ego are massive. Materialism, right? That's what most people follow.
I
Yes?
just want to
Yes.
I just want to add one more thing. When the Templar, when the Masonic Grand Master was arrested, it was Friday the 13th, and that's where that comes from. Uh, Friday the 13th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Interesting.
Catherine. Yeah.
Well,
So we haven't even gotten to the seven principles yet, have we?
no.
No.
But I mean, this is how come nobody knows about Hermes and both?
Right.
Why don't we teach these principles in elementary schools?
That's right.
Okay, they can be done in a milk for babies fashion as easily as the other stuff we teach.
That's right,
But
Joe.
why don't we get them off to a good start about how everything works?
Mhm.
At any rate, are we, did we go back to Ron?
I believe yes.
All right, you know where we are at the top of 10, right?
Yes.
All right, sir.
But there were always a few faithful souls who kept alive the flame, tending it carefully and not allowing its light to become extinguished. And thanks to these staunch hearts and fearless minds, we have the truth still with us, but it is not found in books to any great extent. It has been passed along from master to student, from initiate to hierophant, from lips to ear, from lip to ear. When it was written down at all, its meaning was veiled in terms of alchemy and astrology, so that only those possessing the key could read it aright. This was made necessary in order to avoid the persecutions of the theologians of the Middle Ages, who found the secret doctrine with fire and sword, stake, gibbet, and cross. Even to this day, there will be found but few reliable books in the Hermetic philosophy, although there are countless references to it in many books written on various phases of occultism. And yet the Hermetic philosophy is the only master key which will open all the doors of the occult teachings.
Okay.
The
Laverne.
secret, the
Yeah.
secret doctrine is like the Upanishads to the Hindus,
Is
and
that right?
like the Bible to the Christians.
Okay.
The secret doctrine, it comes in 2 volumes. It's kind of difficult to read because you have to know um, the wording.
Is
It's
it in English?
it's in English, but you need some help with it. I know I do.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Right.
Uh, Laverne, did you read?
In the early days, there was a compilation of certain basic Hermetic doctrines passed on from teacher to student, which was known as the Kybalion. The exact significance and meaning of the terms have been lost for several centuries. This teaching, however, is known to many to whom it has descended from mouth to ear, on and on throughout the centuries. It percepts, its percepts have never been written down or printed, so far as we know. It was merely a collection of maxims, axioms, and percepts, which were none understandable to outsiders, but which were readily understood by students after the axioms, maxims, and percepts had been explained and exemplified by the Hermetic initiatives of their neophytes. These teachings really constituted the basic principle of the art of Hermetic alchemy, which, contrary to the general belief, dealt in the mastery of mental forces rather than material elements, the transmutation of one kind of mental vibrations into others, instead of changing one kind of metal into another. The legends of the Philosopher's Stone, which would turn base metal into gold, was an allegory relating to Hermetic philosophy, readily understood by all students of true Hermeticism.
In
Okay.
this little book, of which this is the first lesson, we invite our students to examine into the Hermetic teachings as set forth in the Kybalion and as explained by ourselves, humble students of the teachings, who, while hearing the title of initiates, we are still students at the feet of Hermes, the Master. We herein give you many of the maxims, axioms, and precepts of the Kybalion, accompanied by explanations and illustrations, which we deem likely to render the teachings more easily comprehended by the modern student, particularly as the original text is purposely veiled in obscure terms. Okay, Ron, you want to pick up from there?
Okay. The original maxims, axioms, and precepts of the Kybalion are printed here in italics, the proper credit being given. Our own work is printed in the regular way in the body of the work. We trust that many students whom we now offer this little work will derive as much benefit from the study of its pages as have the many who have gone on before, treading the same path of mastery throughout the centuries that have passed since the time of Hermes. Blah,
Close enough. Go ahead, Ron.
It just
Just saying
does.
if you're listening.
Okay.
The master of masters, the great, in the words of the Kybalion, where fall the footsteps of the masters, the ears of those ready for his teaching upon open wide, the Kybalion. When the ears of the student are ready to hear, then cometh the lips to fill them with wisdom, the Kybalion.
Makes perfect sense.
May as
Keep
well
going.
finish, Ron.
Okay. So that according to the teachings, the passage of this book to those ready for the instruction will attract the attention of such as are prepared to receive the teaching. And likewise, when the pupil is ready to receive the truth, then will this book come to him or her. Such is the law, the Hermetic principle of cause and effect, and its aspect of the law of attraction will bring lips and ear together, pupil and book in company. So mote it be.
Okay. That's like a amen, right? At the end.
That's right.
So mote it be. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Quite a build up, right? Quite an introduction. How well written was that? Did you that was very
I thought it was very
understandable,
good.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm excited, but we're gonna wait until next week and we will actually start the 7 Hermetic Principles, and that starts on page 13. So, what I'd like to do, looking at our time here, is move to the second part of our ACIM talks and take a look at our Oracle exploration for this evening, which is lesson number 16 in the workbook for students, part 1. And it's on page 26 in A Course in Miracles. And so, do y'all have your lesson 16?
Yes.
Let's see if we can see why Spirit wanted us to read this one. Kathleen, are you able to read along with us? You got your book?
Yeah, no, I got home so I can read.
Okay, great. Well, listen, Ron just read. So, Laverne, would you read lesson 16? Not
Yes.
necessarily all of it, but yeah.
Lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs. And that's what is miracle principle number 12, I believe.
And what is it?
Miracles are thoughts. Thoughts represent the lower or bodily level of experience or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical and the other creates the spiritual.
Yeah, consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Someone left. I don't know just who's
Catherine.
missing.
Catherine left. She was waving
Ah,
goodbye to
she
me.
said she had to leave. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. All right. Um, Thank you, Laverne. Let me, before we go on, paragraph 1, sentence 4. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which one has more power? The true one or the false one?
The true ones.
I agree.
So the true ones create.
Neither one of them are, they're just thoughts.
What if I said they have the same power?
The same.
Yeah.
I would say
That's the
because
problem. They have the same power.
so let me say that if it's true and they create, if you create something, it's permanent, eternal. If you
Yes,
make something, it does not last.
that's correct.
So that would make true have the most power.
Well, the true one would be more long-standing.
Right.
But you could make a false tree as easily as you could make a true tree. It's just the false tree won't last.
You're using the word make a false tree, make a true tree. So to me, whenever I hear the word make, I would referring to the course as something that's not lasting. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Understand.
something that's done
Right.
from the physical, which
Okay.
is
Right.
Uh, what I'm
But
saying though is not so much Course in Miracles is I'm talking about the power of thought. The
but
power of thought has the power is you can produce a, a true thought is easily because the power is coming from your belief.
don't make it true.
It's like you have maximum power. Whatever you focus your attention on, it'll do that to that.
right.
If you focus your attention on something false, it'll make something. If you focus your attention on something true, how about this, Laverne? It will create something.
Yeah, and I think Kathleen has something to say on this.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Yeah,
And
but
so
I was gonna say the true helps propel you forward, whereas the weak has no power. It has power to be in your mind, but it does not take you closer to where we all would like to be out of the illusion.
It
And I just
perpetuates. Go
yeah,
ahead,
and
dear.
I just wanted to add, the fact that you believe something is true does not make it true.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
If,
Exactly.
if you believe something is true, it will be true for you,
Right.
but it won't be true. So it has a relative power in terms of being able to sustain itself because it lacks the substance of truth. It lacks the innate power. In other words, whose power did you use? Here we go. The Holy Spirit's power or the ego's power to produce it? That'll tell you about what will happen to what you produce. So it depends on whose guidance. Where do your thoughts come from?
Ego,
They come from two
yes.
places.
Yeah.
Holy Spirit and ego.
From your teachers.
I don't, okay. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I have two teachers in my head. That's not right. You're only supposed to have one because they talk double talk. They make you confused. They put you in conflict, right? But if you take their advice because of your power, you'll either create or make. They're going to look the same pretty much, but one is artificial, isn't it? Did I spend too much time on that? That's just the first paragraph.
My thought system tells me that we as humans cannot create, we can only make, and it takes God in order to create something.
Okay. So if you want to
Well,
be on the right
what,
track, go
yeah,
ahead, Laverne.
I wanted to just ask Brian, what about the statement we're co-creators with
There you
God?
go. There you go.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Good.
But
Good.
it said you're co-creators with God.
Okay.
Only God's thought. In other words, here, let me go. My first problem was thinking I could think for myself. Uh, this is talking about us as creation, as separate individuals. I don't have the bandwidth to think for myself. I was never intended to think for myself. I was intended to carry out the plans of my creator. How about you? What was your purpose? To do whatever the hell you want to do?
To be
You
a
were
co-creator with God. That's my purpose.
with God. That's the point. My creative power is the same as my creator's as long as I'm one with my creator. If I separate from my creator, I don't have my creator's creative power. How am I doing?
Good.
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 That makes sense.
Mhm.
So, what I'm saying is when you pull that trigger of using your creative abilities, it will create what you don't want as easily as it'll create what you do want. One, thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They're all maximal power. So all you can have prerogative over is on whose behalf you're using the power. On Holy Spirits, you create. On the egos, you make. Speech over. Okay. I forgot. Laverne, did you start us out?
I did.
Could you read some more?
There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of the idle thought.
I can't hear you very well. Yeah.
Okay, get
Better.
get a little
Yes.
closer.
Thank
There
you.
is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. What gives rise to the perception of a whole world can hardly be called idle. Every thought you have contributes to truth or to illusion. Either it extends the truth or it multiplies illusions. You can indeed multiply nothing, but you will not extend it by doing so.
Read some more.
Besides your recognizing that thoughts are never idle, salvation requires that you also recognize that every thought you have brings either peace or war, either love or fear. A neutral result is impossible because a neutral thought is impossible. There is such a temptation to dismiss fear thoughts as unimportant, trivial, and not worth bothering about that it is essential you recognize them all as equally destructive, but equally unreal. We will practice this idea in many forms before you really understand it.
In applying the idea for today, search your mind for a minute or so with eyes closed and actively seek not to overlook any little thought that may tend to elude the search. This is quite difficult until you get used to it. You will find that it is still hard for you not to make artificial distinctions. Every thought that occurs to you, regardless of the qualities that you assign to it, is a suitable subject for applying today's idea. In the practice periods, first repeat the idea to yourself, and then as each one crosses your mind, hold it in awareness while you tell yourself, this thought about blank is not a neutral thought. That thought about blank is not a neutral thought. As usual, use today's idea whenever you are aware of a particular thought that arouses uneasiness. The following form is suggested for this purpose. This thought about blank is not a neutral thought because I have no neutral thoughts. 4 or 5 practice periods are recommended if you find them relatively effortless. If strain is experienced, 3 will be enough. The length of the exercise period should also be reduced if there is discomfort. Ooh, this is from back in the old days. At any rate, folks, indulge me for a minute because whenever we do a workbook lesson, we have to include a meditation period.
Mhm.
So let's just do that as we close out this evening, if that's all right.
It's good.
Okay.
And just think about, I have no neutral thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And the implications of that.
Cause and effect.
So thank you guys for coming out and participating in these lofty discussions. And I don't know, gee, seem like we should have PhDs or working on it or something, don't you think? See if we can get accredited.
Like Nancy, weren't you a professor?
Of education, yeah, at University of Detroit Mercy.
Nice. I
So,
didn't know that. I
yeah.
taught at Mercy. Well, no, it was Mercy College back then before they joined with University of Detroit.
Yeah. Oh,
So, yeah, some educators here. At any rate, folks, I appreciate you coming out. I think we went a bit over. If it's okay, we won't do our family discussion period. We'll start that next time. And Nancy Hilda family discussion, we stopped the recording and just share and see how we might be of service to each other. So you'll get to see that next time. I hope you'll come back and join us.
I
Final
sure will.
comments from, thank you. Final comments from anyone?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yes, thank
enjoyed it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Jim.
Jim.
All right.
Yeah.
The Kybalion is slowly evolving,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be worth the wait. So
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
see you
trying to,
guys next time.
yeah.
Much love to everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You too,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Right.
Have a
Bye,
blessed week.
everyone.